So here's what happened. Patrick and I have been happily invited for Christmas dinner at Aaron's place. Aaron's my grandson. That's where Claire is and Tiffany. And Tiffany's making dinner. And I'm very excited because we're going to get to see the baby, and it's Aaron's and Tiffany's first Christmas where they're inviting people. And it's kind of nice to not have to do it, I have to say. And my job was to bring dessert because Tiffany says that I make yummy desserts. So I thought about it, and I thought, well, I can make white cake, which means I can make cupcakes, and I can make brownies from scratch. So yesterday I made the cupcakes, thinking, I don't want to do it all too soon because, things age, but a cupcake will be okay. And I researched. I watched Tammy's videos. I read some stuff about cupcakes. And frankly, I had decided to do one of Tammy's decorations because it looked so easy. And I'm not good at these things. So I decided to do the cupcake that Tammy recently did of the Santa that falls into the snow. So you see his little red legs with the white trim on the end of the leg and the jelly bean, the black jelly bean glued on to the white chocolate that you dip the red Twizzler into. And I thought I could do that. I watched her video a couple of times, making sure that it wasn't too complicated for me. So the cupcakes were ready. I made the brownies this afternoon, and they were in the oven cooking, baking. And the kitchen was a bit of a mess, but at this point we were doing okay. I made the icing. Now, whenever I make icing, I do it by hand. I use butter, and I use vanilla, and I use, of course, the icing sugar and cream, and you whip it all up, and it's just fine. Well, because I was making like a double batch, I thought, well, I'll use my electric mixer. It's a handheld one. So I beat the butter, and I put in some of the vanilla, and then I dump in the powdered sugar, and of course it goes everywhere. So, okay, fine. Mistakes happen. So I clean that up, and I make the icing, and I get the cupcakes, and I had to put them not sealed because I didn't want them to sweat, but I put them in a container, and I bring them over. The icing's ready. There's a bit of a mess. And my cupcakes, when I made them yesterday, I stuck the toothpick in and it came out clean. Everything was fine. Everything was fine. By the way, have I told you that this isn't my season? Really? I should do nothing except get takeout at this time of year. Do you notice, by the way, that I decorated for you? You see my little house? Okay. Back to the cupcakes. The tops of the cupcakes were wet, but they were cooked fine. You know how if you touch the top, it was wet. So I thought, okay, well, that's not a big deal because I'm going to put icing on top, and then I'm going to put the legs in, and everything's going to be fine. So the icing's ready. I iced the cupcakes, and I think the icing was a little bit too wet because it didn't stay where I put it. It's supposed to be fluffy. So, fine. I'm not perfect when it comes to these things, So, I just push that aside, and I get the Twizzlers, and I take them out of the bag, and I cut off a chunk, and I've melted the little candy melts. I bought more candy melts because, you know, Tammy only did one cupcake, and I thought, well, she just did like 6 candy melts, and I bought about 30, so I had melted them carefully. And I dipped the Twizzler end into the melted white chocolate and lift it up, and it's supposed to be rigid like this, and it just goes like that. So I do it again, thinking, okay, well, the white chocolate will hold it up, and I put the black jelly bean on the top, and it just goes pfft. So I thought, well, maybe Twizzlers isn't the right thing, and they looked a lot thinner than Tammy's. So I rushed to the bulk barn, and I buy these short little stubby fat red licorice things that look like Twizzlers, but they're twice the size, but short little things. And I try that. Of course, come home and the chocolate's all melted. The chocolate's all solidified. I have to remelt it. And the next little crisis is that after I've dipped it, after I've put the jelly bean on the top, it was starting to work a little bit better. Well, this great big huge thing that's bigger than the size of my finger won't go into the cupcake. And it was a mess because it was too short and my hands were getting in the way, and it was a nightmare. I can't even tell you what kind of a nightmare it was. I will add a picture of the little, I managed to make 5. I needed 8. I guess I miscounted the legs. So, I get that all done. For the remaining cupcakes, and there were 12, I put red and green Smarties on top, and that's just going to have to do. Besides, there's brownies too, which I also iced and put little red cherries on and green cherries on. It will do. So I'm cleaning the kitchen. Pat knows I'm pissed and annoyed, and my back hurts and my feet hurt, and it's like I've had to clean the kitchen 6 times today. And so he comes in and decides to help by remelting the solidified leftover white chocolate, which was like, I bought about 30 of the candy melts. I probably needed 8. So it was a lot of chocolate left in my precious little bowl. He puts it in the microwave, and guess what happened? It exploded into flames. Seriously, I should only order in at this time of year. I'll add a picture. I'm also adding a picture of my little Legos decoration and the cake that I made a couple of weeks ago and told you about, which turned out quite nice. I shaved chocolate on top of it, if you're wondering what's on top. I'm wishing all of you a very Merry Christmas. Thank you for all the cards that you've sent. Thank you for being my friends. You all mean a lot. Did I mention the decorations? I think I did. Your cards are all up in the living room. I'll take a picture and post it after Christmas. Have a wonderful Christmas Eve. Be safe. And enjoy tomorrow. I'm sending all of you hugs. Well, almost all of you hugs. And have a nice Christmas. I'll see you soon. That's it, that's all.